Finally, tonight, there are people who talk the talk. Some even make a living doing it. And I'm generally humored by them, the ones who think they know everything, pontificate on things about which they have no experience, no frame of reference, but still assume, presume, and fancy they know it all. Take a listen.
Look at what Jeanine Pirro, this is just outrageous, Jeanine. Jeanine, I'm looking at you. You should be ashamed of yourself. She said that these kids are a lower level of human being.
Joy Behar, a perfect example of one who talks the talk. Now, I just came back from the southwest border, having actually interviewed people on the front lines who say that children are being trafficked by the cartels and forced into a lower level of human being. The sheriff in charge of the largest southwest international border area in the United States, and one of the most dangerous where the Sinaloa cartel operates, Cochise County, says that what's happening to these children is, quote, modern-day slavery. That children ultimately become slaves to the cartel. Consider this. 20% of the children brought here have no known family in the United States. Transnational cartels seize upon them, putting them in harm's way, and use and abuse these young children, physically and sexually, even keeping them under the cartel's thumb once they are in the United States because they have no family here. They are then forced to continue to work for the cartel. We're not even taking DNA, which for these lost children would help identify them. To me, that's placing innocent, vulnerable children in a deadly environment, forcing them to be a lower-level human that any reasonable person would recognize as abhorrent. It is those children I spoke about on Fox, the ones who are being trafficked, abused, and brought across the border, who then become slaves to sex traffickers. I know. Believe me, I know. As DA, I prosecuted cases like these on behalf of victims, many of whom didn't speak English and afraid to speak in their native tongue because the cartels held families in their home country under the threat of violence or retribution. I provided translators to help protect these victims. My mission, Joy, has been protecting children my whole career. I started one of the first child abuse units in the nation. Check your favorite paper, the New York Times, when child abuse was considered a social issue and not a crime. I didn't talk about it, I did it. I fought the system and made it happen. To me, a child chained to a radiator is not a social problem. A child too young to identify sexual parts of her body being abused is entitled to more than mediation. She is entitled to justice. I also started one of the first domestic violence units in the nation, fighting to protect battered women and the children forced to live with the violence, some of whom were murdered in that same violent home. I didn't just talk the talk, Joy, about children being raped, scalded, or beaten to death. I did something about it. I spent my time in emergency rooms with victims, in hospital rooms with children, and in morgues in heartbreaking silence. And you want to lecture me? You want to talk about escaping violence?
People are escaping violence, they're escaping drugs, they're escaping poverty. And with climate change on the horizon, I think it's just going to get worse.
Escaping violence? That's the point, Joy. Even the sheriff said it was modern-day slavery because the cartels hold on to these children. You think they're escaping drugs? They're becoming mules for the cartels. For 30 years, I helped people escape violence, and I punished those who committed that violence. I didn't talk about it. I didn't put myself on a chair in front of a camera and yap about something. I fought. I prosecuted. I convicted. I sentenced. And when the laws weren't strong enough, I fought to change the laws. I created task forces and provided shelters and safe havens, connecting with churches and social services and mental health professionals. So don't you ever accuse me, because unlike you, I don't just talk the talk. I have actually walked the walk. I did something. I did something. I actually did something. So instead of sitting on your butt with your friends pontificating, get down to the border, Go into a courtroom, a victim center, family court, a shelter, volunteer. Have the courage to step off your comedy club stage and do something that matters, that makes a difference. And yeah, Joy, I'm talking to you. And that's my closing.